Alrighty, arms nice and relaxed by our side. Our pelvis is nice and neutral. Our head is relaxed. We're going to start straight away with some toe taps. So we're going to bring right leg up to tabletop. Left leg joins in tabletop. We want to press that belly down to the floor so we're nice and supported through our lower back. We're going to tap right toe to the ground and then lift up. And then opposite leg taps down. So we inhale, tap. Exhale, come up. It can be nice to start with your heels a little bit closer to your bum for those first few taps. And then when you start to feel like your abs are nice and switched on, you can take that toe out a little bit further. And that's just going to put a little bit more pressure on that tummy. So we want to glide those ribs down, keep that belly nice and flat. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift up. Let's go for 4 more. Hopefully those abs are just switching on. Obviously we're not trying to burn them out or anything. We just want to get them nice and warm. Last 2. Inhale down. Tap that toe a bit further away. Challenge your core. All right, keep your legs in this tabletop position here. Because we've all been doing these classes for so long, I want us all to try and do this slightly more challenging variation of your 100. So I want you to straighten out your legs. If your hamstrings feel super tight here, feel free to keep a soft bend, but straightening as much as possible. Start here. If you feel like you can lower a little bit, you're going to take those legs slightly away from the body. We're going to reach up toward the sky. Inhale. As you exhale, we're going to reach past our hips. We're going to start to pump those arms up and down. We're squeezing the back of the arms, pressing that belly button down, and then lifting a little higher. We're going to go for 20 more here. 16, 15, 14. Keep going. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull those knees into the chest. Little rest here. Starting just super strong, hey? All right. We're going to do it again. Hopefully the abs are really going to warm up through this one. So again, if you felt like the first set was too easy, then you're going to take the legs further away from the body. If you felt like it was too hard, maybe you straighten them out like this a little bit more, or even come back to that tabletop. Just making sure you're getting a little challenge with this movement. Inhale to prepare, exhale, curl up, move those legs away if you can. We're pumping those arms up and down, we're squeezing those triceps, little squeeze of those legs, start to get them nice and warm. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's go for 20. 10, keep going. Press that belly down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull those knees into the chest. Little rock from side to side. We're going into a roll down here. So here is where if you do the first rep of this exercise and you're like, that is way too hard, I cannot do that, then something weighted, even just your drink bottle, if you have a sealed drink bottle that won't drip, even a drink bottle will be a really good support. It only needs to be about 1 to 2 kilos. Straighten those legs out. We're going to take our arms up ahead as well. I'm going to demonstrate the first rep and then I'm going to get you to join me. We're going to take an inhale to prepare. And then as we exhale, we're going to take the arms up above the head. We're going to tuck that chin. The ribs are going to slide down to help us lift. From here, curl up into this nice seated position. And then we're going to fold over those legs. You're going to get a really nice stretch down the back of those hamstrings. And then we sit up tall from here. It's like you've been punched in the tummy. You're going to curl through that tummy. And we're going to slowly roll back 1 vertebrae at a time. It's like you're peeling your spine back on the floor. Keep those arms reaching forwards right until that last minute when the head comes down to the floor. So let's all do that together. So we're gonna reach our arms above our head. Our feet are about hip distance apart. Take an inhale to prepare. As we exhale, those arms come up over the head. We tuck chin to chest, we roll up. And then we fold over those legs. Enjoy that really nice stretch for the lower back, for the legs. Sitting up nice and tall. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, we're gonna tuck that tailbone. We're gonna pull that belly button back as our arms reach forward. As slow as you can down to the floor. The last thing to come down is those shoulder blades. And then the head. The arms also come back down to the floor. We're gonna do that about 3 more times, and you can do this in your own time now. Really using the breath and trying as much as possible to use the core and not momentum, which if you do it the first few times, you probably will use some momentum, and that's okay. It's obviously not ideal, but eventually we'll get there. Amazing job, guys. Really create that nice C curve in the spine. So good for your spinal mobility, keeping your spine nice and healthy. And last one, we're all gonna meet on our back here. I think everybody did this next one a couple of weeks ago, except for Kylie. Kylie, you're gonna have fun with this one, hopefully. It's called the rollover. I don't know if you remember this one, Alana and Mon. We're gonna start this time, instead of having our legs straightened out like we did last time, we're gonna go for more of a bunny hop. So we're gonna take both hands underneath our pelvis. That's just gonna help us get a little bit of support to get up and over. So we're gonna start with our legs up nice and tall. The best way to really make sure you work your abs is to let those legs fall away from the body slightly. And then we're gonna use the strength of our abs to get those legs overhead. And then we slowly come back down. So we don't wanna just flop those hips back down onto the ground, because then our spine's just gonna kaplonk, and that will not be so nice for our lower back. So we want to go really nice and slow. If you need to, bend those knees for a little support. Let's go together. So we're going to inhale, lower those legs slightly away from the body. And then as you exhale, use those abs. And then we slowly peel back onto the floor. If you feel like this is just an absolute no-go for you and it's not feeling good, or you feel like your spine just needs a little bit more work, we can go back to our bunny hops, which is just a nice little lift and preparation for that exercise. So instead, you're just pushing those hips up a couple of inches. Let's go for one more. This is one of the fun Pilates exercises for sure. Well done, guys. Keen to see how you went with that later. All right, feet down. For this one, we're gonna take our left leg, we're gonna straighten that left leg all the way out. If you get into this exercise and the left leg being straight is too much, feel free to bring it back to a bent knee position. Otherwise, that right leg is gonna straighten out. If this is too hard, just a soft bend is fine, but do your best to really work through that leg, squeeze that thigh, straighten that leg. We're gonna inhale and we're gonna lower that leg down. As that leg lowers, you want to keep that belly nice and contracted. We don't want to flop out through that tummy and the rib cage. As you exhale, you're going to circle that leg up and around and then bring it back to that starting position. We can make that circle a little bit smaller if need be. If those hips are rocking from side to side, I want to see smaller circles. We're going to go for 4 more because this one is definitely very intense on those hips, especially if we've got tight hips. Last 2. And straight into that other side. So we straighten out through the right leg this time. We're going to take that left leg up. We're going to inhale, lower that leg down. And then exhale, circle it around. Inhale, lower, flatten that tummy down. Keep that belly pulling down. Exhale. Squeeze through that thigh. 4 to go. Deceivingly challenging. You think it should be easy. Last one. Keep pressing that tummy down, press those hips down. Well done. All right, we're gonna pull that right knee into the chest. We're gonna go into a nice little curl here. So straighten out through that left leg. We've got a single leg stretch here. So we take an inhale to prepare. As we exhale, curling up, and then we're going to switch those legs. So we pull that left knee in, straighten right leg out. The right leg just hovers above the ground here, and switch. Keep on switching. If you feel like you're relying too much on holding that leg to hold up, then release those arms. Have a few reps, just feeling whether you're really using your abs or using your legs. Really try and curl yourself up a little bit more than you think you can. 1 inch higher. Lift that chest. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull those knees into the chest. Take a little rest. Last ab exercise coming up. All right, legs come to tabletop. We've done this one a few times before. It's called the double leg stretch. So we're going to start with both hands just by our hips here. We're going to extend both arms and legs. So that will look like this. We extend arms and legs. And then we exhale. Curl those arms up and then pull those knees into the chest. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, we curl in, reach those fingers. And again, let's go. If you need to, maybe those legs come up a little bit higher. If you're feeling confident, you're feeling like your abs can really maintain that nice position, we take them further out. Those abs should be feeling such a deep burn right now. Give me 2 more on that curl up. Really reach past those hips. Last one. And drop those feet down to the width of your mat. Let your knees rock from side to side. Well done on a super challenging ab sequence. Release those abs, take a nice breath. And then we're gonna roll over and do some legs. All right. Have some water if you haven't already. You have the option of some ankle weights, or if you want to also add, if you have a little dumbbell, I wouldn't say a can for this one, just because it can be a little bit hard to hold in the back of the knee. But if you do want to add a little weight, you can. Alrighty. We're going to come down to our elbows today rather than coming onto our hands. So everyone will definitely feel like their wrists are going to be able to cope with this whole sequence. So come down to your elbows. We're going to pop those elbows right under our shoulders. And I want us all to have our palms facing upward here. And that's just going to stop us from really tensing up those forearms and then creating tension through the whole upper body. So elbows under shoulders, knees are quite narrow, so they're almost completely together. So we're nice and stable. Lift through that tummy. We're going to take our right leg back into a nice high horse kick here. And then bring it in. You'll definitely find in this nice position on our elbows, you can really get that leg out quite high. For this first little sequence with the glutes, we're not completely burning out the glutes. We just want to really get them nice and warm for our side lying series coming up. So we're going to go for 5, 4, squeeze that butt to lift, lengthen out through those toes. 3, 2, and last one, hold that leg up. Hold that leg while I explain your next exercise. You're going to bring your knee to the outside of your left knee. So we come out and then we kick out to the side. Bend that right knee into the left and kick. Bend. So little dip into that leg and kick. Keep that core switched on. Don't let that tummy start flopping towards the ground. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Last kick, take that leg up to your horse kick. You're going to pull that heel in toward the bum for a donkey kick. Keep that toe quite pointed. We're going to point it up and lower. Up and lower. For 8, 7, here is where you could add a dumbbell behind the knee. For 6, the butt should really start burning soon. 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Now that that glute is nice and warm, we're going to roll onto the left side of the body so that your right leg should be on the top. We're coming down to our side in our clam 2 position. So we want our legs, our heels in line with our butt here, and we're going to keep those heels lifted. Before you even start your movement, lift through this waist. We don't want to sink through the waist here. We want to lift. Open that knee and shut. So we should really be squeezing the butt here, and it should definitely be nice and warm already from that exercise we just did. 4 more. For 3, keep on breathing here. Even if you lose pattern with the movement, just keep on breathing. 2. Hold it open on 1 for me. Keep that bottom heel lifted. We're going to extend that leg out. Line it up with the body. Bring it back in and shut that clam. We open, extend, and close the clam. If you want a little extra challenge for your stability, pop that hand on the hip above. Just gives you a little bit less support for that movement. All right, 2 more. squeeze that thigh as you extend that leg as well. It's an opportunity to work the whole leg there. Hold that leg out for me. If you've got your hand to your hip, you're going to pop it down to the floor now. This bottom heel is going to meet that top leg, and then we're going to squeeze them both back into that clam. So you're going to squeeze this butt here, extend out, and squeeze it in. So your side abs are even working here to pull those legs back in. Extend and squeeze it in. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, bring it back in. Let's go for 3. This bottom inner thigh is also working to stay lifted. 2. Last one, hold those legs out there. We're going to turn our toes parallel. We're going to do a little swimmer here. So one leg's going to go forward, one leg's going to go back. One leg forward, one leg back. And bring up that pace a little bit. Nice little swimmer like you're swimming in the water. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, squeeze that waist. 2, 1, lower that left foot and then rise to meet that right foot. Lower the left, rise to meet the right one. So we're squeezing the side waist here to keep that right leg lifted. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower down. Well done. That one got the side abs. Loved it. All right, we're going to come up to all fours here. And we're going to do the other side. Have some water if you have not already. All right. Coming down to all fours again. Making sure elbows are right underneath our shoulders. Pull that stomach back. Knees come quite close together. We're going to get straight into it. Extend that left leg back. And bring it in. Keeping that tummy nice and activated. Stay lifted in that position with the elbows. Good, looking good. For 5, lengthen through that leg. Squeeze the whole back of the leg. 4. Now, if this side is already sore, that's because you did just work it a little bit on the other side. So that's completely normal. 2. Hold up with me on 1. We're going to bend through that knee, bring it across to the right, and then kick out to the side. Bend, inhale, and then exhale, kick. Hopefully you have a little bit more space than I do and you're not kicking a wall. Didn't think that one through well enough, did I? Inhale, exhale. Let's go for 3, 2, stay lifted through that tummy, through the chest. Last one. And back. We're going to take that heel toward the glute. We're going for 10 little lifts. So we lift up for 10, 9, try and stay pace with me. 8, 7, breathe. 6, well done. 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower that leg down. Well done. Roll onto the right side of your body. Oh my gosh. My son did his dinosaur dig in this room today in little kinetic sand. There's kinetic sand just all over the ground. That is fun. It's just all smushed in. All right, into your clam 3 position. Our heels are elevated. Our waist is nice and lifted here. We're going to open up that knee and shut it down. Open that knee and shut. Keep that belly button pulling back. Relax that shoulder down. 5, 4. Hand is at the ground for extra support. Hand is at the waist for a little more challenge. 2. We hold open on 1. And then extend that leg out and bring it in. Trying not to let that leg go below the hip, just to make sure we're really working that glute. 5. Imagine my hand has come around your ankle and I'm pulling that ankle further away from the body, and that's going to switch on that thigh. It's going to really be working the glute. 3, 2. Last one, let's hold that leg up. Here's we're going to take this bottom leg. Definitely add your hand here for some support. We're going to take both those legs out. We pull them in into that clam 2 and then extend out. We pull them in, and as we come into this, we're really squeezing that knee in using the side waist and extend. For 5, 4, use that breath. Do not hold your breath here. For 3, 2, hold it out on this next one. 1. We're going to go for those little swimmers. Keep both legs elevated. One leg comes forward and one leg's back. One leg forward and one leg's back. Picking up the pace a little bit for 8, 7, 6, 5. Squeeze that waist. 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Leave it up. We're going to lower that left leg and then lift. We lower and lift. Squeezing the inner thigh for 6, 5, 4, 3, almost done, 2, and 1, and lower down. Well done. Oh, hello. All right, we are going to finish off with a little planking. Everybody's favorite, I bet. We all love a plank. All right, instead of just holding a plank, because that is really boring, we're going to do what's called a plank to a little tiger sit. So I'll demonstrate, and then we're all going to join together. We're going to do it for probably about a minute, 45 seconds to a minute. So we're going to come into our nice plank position here. So our hands right underneath our shoulders. Now here, I don't want to see any of this, and then definitely none of this, because that is definitely going to lead to some back pain. So nice strong plank, pull that belly button back. We're going to sit back into what's called this little tiger sit here. So we push our bum down to our heels, and then we come forward into that plank. Push that bum back and forward into that plank. So everybody getting into our plank position. If you feel like that is just too much today, then feel free to come into some shoulder taps on your knees, or even shoulder taps on your toes, if that's all too much. Good. So we inhale, sit back into that tiger sit, and then we exhale, come forward, hit a beautiful plank every time. If that means you have to adjust yourself in plank a couple of times, maybe you stay there for a bit longer before you go into that tiger sit. Let's go for about 20 more seconds. Rest if you need, but this is your last sequence, so push yourself as much as you can. 10 seconds here. For 5 seconds. Lower those knees, bring them apart, bring your feet together, push those hips back. We're coming into a nice child's pose. So reach through those arms, press your hands down into the floor, and then you're gonna sit that bum down into your heels. So imagine you're trying to press your bum closer to your heels. Nice deep breath in, and then a deep breath out. We're gonna come up to all fours here. We're gonna bring our right leg forward. We're gonna come into quite a deep runner's lunge here. If the deep runner's lunge feels like too much for the hips today, feel free to just come into your kneeling hip flexor stretch instead. If you're joining me in the runner's lunge, we're gonna creep that leg further forward. Hands are gonna be on the left side of the body, and those hips are gonna press forward. If your hips are feeling really good, that right knee can drop out to the side. Make sure you're breathing in this one because it's pretty intense on the hips. Keep pressing down through those hands so you're nice and supported. Again, for a more intense option, you can come down to your elbows. Nice deep breath in. Soften on the exhale. Press those hands back down into the floor. Go back slowly because that one is super intense, so we don't want to just throw those legs back. Left leg is going to come forward. We're going to shift those hips forward. Nice deep breath in here. Take whichever alternative feels good for you. If you want more, if those hips are feeling really good, come down to those elbows, let that knee drop to the side. If not, that's also fine. If you're feeling the stretch, that's all that's important. One leg might be more open than the other. Last breath here. Soften on that exhale, soften through the hip. Plant those hands back to the floor. We're gonna roll onto our back now. I'm gonna stretch out those glutes because they work so hard. All right, this is one of my favorite glute stretches that I don't do enough. We're gonna go into what I call the sexy librarian position, that classic leg cross. So we're not going into our piriformis stretch here. It's a bit different because we're twisting. So we're bringing that heel down the calf, and then that right knee is gonna drop over to the left side. So it's just a bit deeper than that piriformis stretch, and you'll find this especially loosens through the back of the hip here. If this feels too deep, feel free to go into that piriformis stretch instead. But this one is just especially nice if you've got really tight hips and a tight spine as well. So big inhale and then exhale. Let that breath just really loosen up the back of that hip. The arms should be so heavy down on the floor. The head is heavy on the floor. And if there's any spot in your body that you can feel is just holding on to tension, your breath is your invitation to relax that. So we take that breath, big inhale, and then we send that exhale to wherever is feeling the tension. Last breath. And then very gently, you can help to use your hands as a support here to bring that knee back to the chest. drop it down on the floor. This can be really, really intense. So move slowly. Try not to just throw yourself in and out of the position. We're taking that left leg now. That left leg is going to cross over the right in that nice sexy librarian position. I hope you all know what I mean, because otherwise you'll think I'm nuts. All right, nice bend over to the right side of the body. Oh my gosh, this side just feels like butter, and the other side feels like it's never twisted a day in its life. Nice deep breaths. Breathing into those tense spots, feeling the body get even heavier on the floor. Soften through the back of the hip here. And then we're going to use the support of the hands. Again, move really slowly, please, so you're not just throwing your body back into that position. We're going to pop those feet down. We're going to do a shoulder bridge. So rather than like a pelvic curl, like we'd usually do, and the glutes would really work, you almost want to bring your shoulders and your arms so they're a bit more under the body. Bring those heels in nice and close. We're going to roll our hips up. We're going to come into a nice shoulder bridge here. So unlike a pelvic curl, you can really push through that tummy, push through those heels, push through the butt, and then just let that whole front body here really just open up. So you want to press through those heels, press through those glutes, through the shoulders. Let the front of the body really stretch out here. Hold it for 5. Let those shoulders relax out from underneath, and then rolling down. Last thing we're going to do here is we're going to bring our feet together. If you find this position too uncomfortable, then just lie in a comfortable position on your back. I personally like it because I feel like it just really opens up the hips. We're going to bring our feet together, and then we're going to let both knees fall open to the side. So you're going to feel like you're getting really open through those hips. Again, if this one is just too much, you can also just keep them bent or even straighten them out if that's more comfortable. I want you to take one hand to your belly button, and then the second hand, we're going to rest over our chest here. And then if you feel comfortable, no one's looking at your face, so you shouldn't feel self-conscious. Shut down your eyes, and then first few breaths, first 2 to 3 breaths, I just want you to really slow down that breath. And bring awareness to where your breath is sitting. Hopefully after all of that ab work, the breath is really into the diaphragm and the tummy. And now we want to bring the breath into the whole torso. So as you take your inhale, we're going to start with the base of the tummy. So we inhale, we breathe into that belly. And then the breath is so deep that that breath is like a wave, and it's going to lift up through your chest. So you feel the breath all the way from your tummy up to your chest. And then as you exhale, the chest deflates, all the breath leaves the chest, and then it starts to leave the tummy. So imagine that your breath is like a wave, your tummy is like a wave. So it breathes in through the tummy, in through the chest, and then it breathes out through the chest, out through the tummy. So continuing with that pattern, breathe into the belly, into the chest, out from the chest, out from the belly. Continue just like that. And as you do so, we're really switching on that part of our brain that tells us it's time to relax. takes us out of our fight or flight mode. So it's a really beautiful tool if throughout the day you feel like you get a little bit anxious or a little bit panicky. Relax through those hips. We're going to go for 3 more breaths. Especially let that rib cage go, because you've done so much work through that core today, and especially in Pilates we can get really tight through our tummy. So this is a really nice one to just release all that fascia, release all the muscles there. Last breath here. Let those arms fall to the side. If your legs are out in that butterfly position, you're going to use your hands to the outside of your thighs to support your legs back to center, because again, it's another one where your legs can be feel a little bit jelly after that. So we want to support them. And then we're going to gently roll over to your side. Oh, my hips, oh my golly gosh. And then you're all done, guys. Well done. I always feel so disheveled after class.